Must be a good optical illusion, because to me it seems like that calf is standing with its hind end on the other side of the fence, front end on this side, but the wires are up, so it must just be on this side. A few babies over here. The orb. One baby on the other side of the fence. Hopefully that's where it belongs. Couple sparring down there. One whining. Beautiful heavy dew this morning. And 36 degrees June 1st. Oh, that's why they're making so much noise. Yeah, their hay's empty now. That means they get fed some today. Oh, kind of surprised. It felt a little chillier in the trailer this morning when I got up and I looked at the thermometer and it was 36 degrees outside. Kind of makes me wish I'd have turned the heat on last night if I'd have known. Well, good morning, boys. You want something? Huh? You guys want something? You want me to come and say hi, but then you want to run away. Why is that? There's my buddy. Okay. And there's Batman back there. Hiding. Sort of. Headed to town. Pick the part up from Tom and see if I can find a broken wire in it. But look, no water down there, and that's all been planted. Just ain't coming up yet. So I thought I'd show you that while I could. Y'all seen this stretch a few times. I'm sure the river's down a little bit from what it was last time I was by too, if I can see into it. Yep, it's down quite a bit. And imagine this guy probably got, yep, he's even got that all worked up. That had standing water in it last time I was through here. Well, I got the piece. I'm going to see if I can try to fix it. And in the last mile, I just met two deputies. One of them's the weighmaster. He's parked on a corner on the side road back there that happens to be the road that leads to a dirt dump. It used to be a rock pit. It's over there in the hills. Pretty much the only route they used to get to and from it. So that's kind of like when the idiots sit on an off-ramp going into a fruit and vegetable processing plant. It's called entrapment. And then the other one I had to wait for at the intersection when he turned off at the next one before I even got my camera up to show that I was following him. So, I have to watch my P's in case I do 90 miles an hour, right? Well, here's the idea. I'm just going to stuff the nozzle into that, put a clamp on it, tied that to there. We did a little changing on this pump years ago because I had to empty the tanks on a dead truck and of course underneath the bed, and that just got into the tank and it gave you just enough room to work it with the bed on it. So that's why it's got a 45 on it. I tied it to there so I'm not going to chase it around. That's full of diesel. I'll dump it in there when I'm ready. I think I'm going to put a little air pressure to that first. And maybe we'll just blow the frickin' thing off the other end. I don't know. No way to tell unless I take stuff apart to look. But that's what we're going to do. That'd be farther along. But this is the second time she's come in with that thing. And it's gotten all wrapped underneath the head. I thought she'd come in because she had dead batteries.
I did.
But
All my
really,
batteries were dead.
she was pretty quick. And last time it was just packed around the outer part. This time it was all packed in around the bearing. So, and I'm thinking, you know, I mean, I do like this, and she does too. It's quiet. But when you got as much to do as she's doing and running back and forth to get batteries, she's using just as much gas in the bike as you'd use on a regular gas-powered weed eater. So anyway, that's my story to that. Now she wants parts so we can put it back together. But she says she's almost done. That'll be good. I'll probably grab lunch before she goes back out, which will give her batteries a chance to finish charging up.
Yeah, because I'm out of batteries.
She's got two full ones there, but the rest of them up there are dead. And 2 in the charger, and we only have 2 DeWalt 20-volt chargers. So, hey, look, this scene again. Yeah, bit busy. Got done with lunch and ended up having to go fix Mom's toilet. Found a sneaky way. I don't remember what brand it is, but it's got like a 3-inch diameter flush valve. It's just a cylinder. Whole thing comes up and down the flush. Seal was bad on the bottom of it. So you got the whole new part, but you got to take the whole toilet apart to change it. Luckily, the piece that holds that in is just a 1/4 turn lock into the base. I looked at the new one and I went, popped it off. Oh, well, the old one will come apart then. So that's all I had to do. Still had to sit there and wait for it to fill up, see if it was going to leak. It wasn't leaking when I walked out, so that's better than it's been. And then I just spent a few minutes here. Remember that screen we put on the rad intake on the 5288? That's part of the leftover, because that's a dirty waste oil bucket. I'm not going to clean it up like this one is, or like the other buckets that Ty cleaned up. I want to see what kind of chunks we get, because everything that I've read, everything says that it's brake lining and clutch lining, slowly wearing, and it's the fibers from that plug up the screen. So, and there's enough hours on it. I mean, I know that's never been apart, never been cleaned, so it totally makes sense there. Anyway, I just want to make sure we actually do get something out of it. Because if we don't, I'm going to have to find a better way to let the stuff out. I don't expect much of it to come out this one, because the way the transmission's made and everything, I think it's going to be 90 or 95% of it's going to go out the back. And Ty must have run out of batteries again, because she's back. Since she's up here waiting for batteries to charge, that only had about 3.5 or 4 gallons in it. What are you trying to do? Oh, did I get it a little close up there? I hear dribbles.
Oh, we're making a gigantic mess back there.
Oh, I was afraid of that.
Stop something, guys.
Yeah, this is not the best science setup here, is it? I know why it's making a mess, because it's just overflowing. Either it got moved. Maybe it got moved a little. I can't see either. I need a light. Well, the issue was it wasn't coming straight out the hole. It was dribbling and getting like 3 times the diameter of the hole. But I got the hole in our can lined up with it now. And I don't know if we're going to catch any of the fibers that come out or not. They may go right through this screen. And of course the front one was dribbling and coming down on the drop box instead of coming straight out the hole, so it made a mess too. But that is what it is. That's what we got absorbent for, right? And the video I watched, I don't know how much the guy pumped through. He had a half barrel sitting back here, cut off barrel sitting back here, and so he probably pumped 25 gallons through it, I suppose. 20 gallons anyway. We're gonna at least go till we fill probably both buckets, and I am surprised there's as much coming out the front as there is, but that screen's kind of at a high point. And this is about 3 inches lower than that one. And the screen's in the middle. Pumping the second bucket full in. Making Ty ask, huh? too bright up there, isn't it? And I haven't seen anything on the screens yet, but it doesn't mean the fibers are big enough for this screen to catch either. But we'll know we got it flushed anyway. So that's what I know. And hopefully it was actually running fairly even. Looks like it still is. So hopefully we don't overflow a bucket. I don't need a bigger mess. Hey look, I got out of the shop for a little bit. Took some batteries to tie. That one's already been raked away. The other side hasn't. She just finished it. And she is now behind me. Too far down there. She's just catching around the risers there because Dino's group will get turned in there and gets ate underneath the fence far enough that they'll get it. That's what I don't like about the New Holland. I had the outer edge of that machine almost hitting the fence posts through there, and that's how much it left standing. But I just checked the piece behind me at the far end, last piece that was cut. And it's dry enough underneath to bale right now. Problem is, when I did the back swath on it, you can see a couple of, hope you can see them, I can't see squat. A couple of big clumps down there in the second round. That's from catching that round with the edge of the mower. That's the other thing I don't like about the New Holland. It catches stuff and drags it and clumps up when you do that. But they are sopping wet underneath. So Ty and I were just talking. Becky wants to rake, so we'll let her run the tedder rake through this stuff tomorrow. I know it's wet over by those trees in this piece. Always is. A little bit in there, but it's a lot bigger area on this piece. So that'll help that. You know, I'm in a hurry to get it baled, but I'm not. I want to make sure we got equipment working. And quite frankly, we get oil back in that tractor and we'll hook it up to either the disc or the cultipacker and see if it'll lift it. If it don't lift it, then we're going to hook the other tractor to the baler and go from there. And have to find somebody that knows more than me. I mean, basically, if it don't lift it, it comes down to it's one of the pumps, most likely the piston pump that does the remotes. So, yay. Guess there were advantages to some balers. The 4800s had their own self-contained hydraulic system for the tension. The 4900s and the 4910s don't, and I think some of the newer ones have their self-contained system, which, I mean, I like the idea of a self-contained system, but they don't always work out well unless they're done right. So anyway, go back up and finish cleaning my mess up and maybe start putting some fluid back in. There's Mr. Hernia boy. Looks pretty much like he did when we turned him out. Gonna guess he's still peeing all right, or he'd be really swelled up, I would think. So, kind of hoping I'd see him since they'll just came back out from the barn. Look over, and I was looking at the other one looking away over there, but I looked down and went, hey, wait a minute, your belly's been shaved. You're the one. And they think they're gonna get new pasture. They got a lot out here to eat. So it'd be nice to have something decent to clip pastures with, because a lot of that stemmy stuff, they don't want to eat it, but they will. So, and I ain't going to do it with a 6-foot mower. Way too much for that. And 14-foot mower, I don't know that it will fit over the bridge to go anywhere. We can get it into this piece, but we can't get it anywhere else. Yeah. I would have thought about it in 1963 or 64 or whichever year that bridge was put in. Replaced the old wooden one. Maybe he'd have made it a little wider. But that's what we got to deal with for now. Nothing definitive in the buckets. You know, could have cleaned them up better first, but yeah. The one that was back here was the cleaner of the two, and it looked like it may have had a little more crap on the bottom of it when we were done. And got most of the floor cleaned up good enough for now. There's sweep it up a little more later. It's probably going to sit there and drip all night at both ends. I don't care. Oh, I still got to pull that off, and I know they'll get more diesel out of there. That's why I still left the other bucket in here. I knew there was a reason for that. But hey, I wanted to show you this quick. This is the latest grease sweep we got. You know, Becky got that floor cleaner. And y'all saw how that was with all the hydraulic oil that was in here when we were cleaning stuff up, scrapping stuff. But there we go. Quicksorb, all natural. Yeah, I don't even know what it's made of. I don't care either. First time I had a chance to really use it, and I'm happy with it. It's focus you. Seems to be a lot better than a lot of stuff we've used before. One of the best things is good stove ashes, but we got a furnace in here now instead of a wood stove, so there's about 1.5 inches of ashes in that bucket left over from way back when. Either that or they came out of Mom's stove, I don't know, but she don't use it much anymore anyway. So hey, there's a push for Quicksorb. And that was the cheapest stuff she found. So anyway, it's that time of day. Ty's pretty well done with, she's got one little spot she's got to hit with a weed eater where the underground irrigation goes in to the ground. She was a little too whooped to stop and do that. It wouldn't have took her long, but she says, I'll do it in the morning when I go rake the stuff out of the fence. So that's fine. And you know where I'll be in the morning. And you know, I appreciate comments from people that may or may not know more than me. You know, I don't know everything. I don't claim to. Never have. Generally, I know my shit if I'm talking about it, but talk about possibly issues with the valves or the pumps, either one, and very well could be. You know, I just figured, looking online, the biggest problem I found with these tractors was the screen getting plugged, and a lot of them were having the same issues that we're having, where steering, brakes, power shift, all that's working fine. The remotes choose not to work as they should. That's why we started here. And really, it's not that, it's a pain in the ass, but it's not that hard to do what we did. I mean, a lot of it was learning, trying to figure out where the screen was. And if we do have to change the pumps, well, you know, pull that step off to get it out of the way, and they're right behind it. I'd pull the step off to do the valves too. But I know you cannot get new valves anymore. It's been about 10 years ago we checked, and all they showed, they had a price for them. Price was a little rich, but you know, not too far out of line, just a little higher than it really should have been. And when they punched the key to get them, no longer supported, unavailable. And when Bruce was still with us, he did a lot of looking, and he found a couple outfits that they said they had new, and they said they had rebuilt, and they said they had rebuilt kits for the valves. Well, when you look at their pictures of the quote rebuilt, they look like they just came off a tractor parked out in the back of the yard. And the kits looked like they were actual kits, but there's the valves. And on this one, we only have two, unfortunately. On the 2294, when we got it, we added a valve to it. We went to the tractor salvage yard, got the valve, and got the lever, and got the cable. And this one, we just never did it. It'd be nice to have a third one on here, but you know, we got a third one on the 5288 and don't use it. Kind of the same thing on the 2294 anymore. We don't use it. The only time we would have used it is if we got the Coach Packer and the Heavy Harrow together, and even the Heavy Harrow by itself should have three, but we got a splitter mounted on it, so you adjust the tilt and then you lock it up. Or you let the wings down, then you lock it. Yeah, let the wings down, then lock it so you got the tilt and the raise and lower. But anyway, I suppose I better get a bucket and take that off so it'll drain in the morning. Start the wonderful process of putting oil back in. I really wish I had a air oil pump, but I don't. Maybe one of these days. Maybe I'll get pissed off tomorrow and go find one. Because, you know, I don't mind having to dump a jug in once in a while, but I got 30 gallons to put in there. It's all in buckets. That'd be a whole lot easier with a pump. And, yeah, we put it in. I've got a old oil hand pump, and it's filtered. So if we used clean buckets, we took clean oil out, it will go through a filter on the way back in. For those of you who are going to wig out, but at $150 for a 5-gallon bucket of oil, there ain't nothing wrong with what we took out. If I'm worried about some of the additives, guess what? Case makes a additive. I use it in the skid steers for the higher pressure stuff. And it will refresh Hytran, even though theoretically Hytran shouldn't wear out. But anyway, and we're still going to end up dumping probably the better part of a 5-gallon bucket in. So it'll have some fresh to begin with. But we're going to go from there. If I have to, I'll make a phone call and see if somebody can come out and hook some stuff up to this that I don't own. There's times, I mean, if we did a lot more of this, yeah, I'd do some scrounging and pony up some bucks for some things, but we don't. I can't see buying $2,000 or $3,000 worth of stuff that is going to sit here. I buy a lot of $100 and $200 and $300 stuff that sits here. Gets used once every 10 years, but that's one thing. Anyway, hope you all had a good Thursday. Hope everybody has a great Friday, and thank you for watching, and thank you for the comments, giving me other ideas and telling me different ways to look at it.